Here are things I wish I knew when I first got Procreate. The first one is I spent weeks coloring in designs. I didn't know that the color drop tool, this one I show you, existed. I spent a lot of time coloring. The next one is I didn't understand layers, and I did a lot of things just on one layer, and it got me into a lot of trouble when I had to redo stuff. So the bottom layers are obviously beneath the ones at the top. They go in order. So the next one was I didn't know you could outline stickers by deleting the background and then just outlining your artwork. That one took me a while to figure out. And then a clipping mask, which is a layer above the layer you want to color over, so it colors basically inside the line. What I wish I knew when I first got Procreate Part 2. The first one is the selection tool. If you select automatic, you can tap where you'd like to color, and when you hit the brush, you can color in, erase, smudge, add color, whatever you'd like. You can also use this to fill an entire layer with color if you wanted to change like the color of a font or a color of a drawing. Then we also have the drawing guide. So I selected isometric. I just changed the settings so you could see the lines better. And when you turn on assisted drawing, it allows you to draw only in the directions of the lines. So either slanted in each direction or straight up and down. I'll show you right here. So all my lines are the same exact direction. You can also do straight up and down lines and lines the opposite direction. This is great for typography. The series continues. What I wish I knew when I first got Procreate Part 3. The first one is I wish I knew that I could make things slightly less pixely by using bicubic instead of nearest neighbor. I messed this up on my last video, but it is bicubic is what you want. I also didn't really understand the smudge tool. It's in between the pencil and the eraser, and you can use it just like any other brush. Like you can choose any brush that you want to use it. The bigger the brush, the more damage you do, basically, to what you want to smudge. The next one is that you can copy and paste things, and it goes to a different layer. So I traced around this from the selection tool, freehand, and then I hit copy and paste. It takes it to another layer. There it is. The last one is that things get better. Procreate is tough, but keep going, and you'll figure it out. What I wish I knew when I first got Procreate Part 4. In this first one, I'm going to show you how to add text. Go to Actions, Add, and then Add Text. To edit it, do the little AA tool in the top right, little options here. To adjust anything, you'll have to select it by tapping on it and dragging around. In the selection tool, I used freestyle, just traced around it in the swirly. You can color drop, you can color into it. It's only going to color in this specific area. In this tool, or in this chunk, I use the Gaussian blur tool, which is in the adjustments tab. Click layer and then drag to the side, and it's only going to stay in this part that I've selected. I also show that it's on a different layer so you could move it around if you wanted to. And in this last one, I show that you can create little shadows with the Gaussian blur as well underneath the letters. And there you go. Thanks so much for following along in this series. What I wish I knew when I first got Procreate Part 5. The first one is I wish I knew you could take different pieces of art to different layers. Such a handy dandy tool. The second one is I wish I knew you could move multiple pieces of art with the cursor tool at the same time. Just do that by swiping right on whatever layers you want to move. The next one is I wish I knew we could do this super fun rotational symmetry. You do this by turning the drawing guide on, and then going edit drawing guide, turning on symmetry, and then in options doing radial and rotational. Then you can just draw and it will repeat itself. It's super fun. All the same rules apply here. You can also use the selection tool to color just in a certain part if that was what you were going for. Thanks for following along in the series. What I wish I knew when I first got Procreate Part 6. The first one is I wish I knew that when you put your pencil at a slanted angle, it gives you a shading version of that brush. The second one is I wish I knew that when you press on the color that it would switch to the color that you were on previously. I also wish I knew that when you pinched your fingers together, it would take your canvas to its natural screen size. And the last one I wish I knew is when you long press on the eraser, it switches to the brush you were using.